Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. It's Wednesday, March 19th, and I'm just going to get to the point here. You know what the most important thing about today in the market is? It's my birthday. I'm just messing with you. But more importantly than that, I've been talking about it in the daily color guard report. That's where we give you end of day analysis if you're a VectorVest 7 subscriber. Today was the potential for a green light, right? And it looks like it's coming to fruition. I see a green light flashing the color guard. So we're going to talk about that. Some more optimism in the market. If anyone can ruin a good birthday party, it's going to be, the Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, having their interest rate decision at 2. We will see and, assess how the market responds to that. I'm thinking that the market's going to be a little bit more optimistic. Obviously, the interest rate, doubt there's going to be a change there. That's my prediction. I'm recording this morning. As far as the market sentiment, it really depends on how much uncertainty Jerome Powell puts in the markets, right? We all know about the tariffs and how that could potentially, increase inflation, things of that nature. That's what's been spooking the markets, right? So tonight's presentation, I've got something very special for you. We're going to talk about the green light. We're going to talk about how that has unfolded in the color guard. So if you're not a VectorVest 7 subscriber and you really want to just stay on the right side of the market, take out the trial. Just go to VectorVest.com or you go to, VectorVest.com/YT. We do have a special promotion there for the YouTube trial. Now, on top of that, it is my birthday. So one thing I really want to talk about, AMD. I've been talking about it for a while right now, but the trade setup, it's starting to come to fruition here. I'm seeing some optimism when it comes to AMD. So the best way I'm going to do that is compare it with the alternative investment in the semiconductor space, NVIDIA, right? That's the real question. What should I get into, NVIDIA on this dip or AMD on this dip? Because, more often than not, both of these companies undervalued right now, great forecasted data, both trading, very cheap valuations, right? And we know with AI, it's not going anywhere. These two companies are at the forefront of the AI race, the AI revolution that's really polarizing the major economies. As you've seen, with the Chips Restriction Act under both presidents, limiting critical supplies and materials to China. So that way we can, keep that competitive edge in the AI space. And on top of that, so there's going to be 3 things we talk about tonight. The third thing is literally going to be the easiest way to stay on the right side of the market in your portfolio. And this is more from a long-term swing trading to more of an investing perspective. So I'm going to show you how you can utilize the VectorVest 7 software, even if you're brand new to trading, just a couple of things to have in your tool belt. And really that, in essence, will keep you on the right side of the market, making you better financial decisions, right? Selling or, hedging when the market is high, getting in on these market dips. Because if you do it the opposite way, right, you're going to lose a lot of money. So, me, I like to simplify things. I like to get right to the point. So let's get to the homepage and check out this green light. Here's the homepage of the VectorVest 7 software. Right above me, the color guard, right? We don't predict where the market is going. We simply follow the trend of the market so that way our subscribers can stay on the right side of that trend, right? And as I look through the color guard, we see price action day at 68.048, right? Now, we did get a break in these red lights. If I scroll this down a little bit, you can see these red lights appearing here. We cannot go from a red light to a green light in a 5-day period. So I mean by that, yesterday we could not get a green light because we were based off 5 days ago or 5 trading days ago, March 11th, right? However, today we got a yellow light. So as long as the VectorVest composite closed above 67.05, which I've been saying is very likely, the bigger concern was staying above yesterday's close because in order to get the green light, the trend of the broad market, the VectorVest composite, we track over 9,000 stocks in the market, right? Had to be higher than it was yesterday and higher than it was 5 days ago, giving us this green light. Now, I will say this, the only bit of concern I really have here, other than, geopolitical tariff concerns, obviously that is a concern. But as far as our proprietary indicators, the BSR buy-sell ratio going from 0.38 to only 0.36 as of yesterday, right? Normally, when we look for a market bottom or what we title the blast off phase, coming back off that market bottom, we'd like to see a big jump in the BSR. We're not seeing a big jump in the overall health of the market, right? The only thing that really can change that optimism It's going to be Jerome Powell at the end of the day. So see what this BSR does after the interest rate decision after 2 p.m. We will have the live stream, so I won't be able to talk about that in this evening's video. But see what this BSR does, especially into tomorrow. Because if we get some optimism from the Fed, or at least minimizing some of this uncertainty in the market, this BSR could jump quite a bit. We could be off to the races. So I just want to put this on your radar, especially if you're bottom fishing. You've been worried because I know it's felt like catching a falling knife, especially if you bought prior to this primary wave up signal, which is our fast signal on March 17th. I could see you get a little nervous there, but we're getting that optimism to the upside. How much upside potential that we get could definitely be limited, right? So I'm more cautious, in the long term right now. But as far as, swing trading to the upside, bottom fishing, things of that nature, not mad at it whatsoever. If you're more conservative in nature and if you don't have the time to trade, look at the call column. It's still down, right? Not the best time for an individual like yourself, unless you're, you're tiptoeing on some high quality, low valued stocks. Hey, I can't be mad at it, right? Just stay disciplined. Now let's take a look at AMD versus NVIDIA. Both of these companies here in positive territory today, right? I'm not too surprised NVIDIA is jumping up a little bit more just because of their event unfolding this week, right? Price action here, NVIDIA 117, AMD 104 currently valuation. Both of these stocks undervalued right now. AMD is a little bit more undervalued compared to price. However, if we look at our fundamental indicators, RVRS, NVIDIA does lead the charge here. Relative value looks at long-term price appreciation potential compared to a AAA corporate bond over the next 1-3 years. NVIDIA wins. The safety, NVIDIA wins. RT relative timing, which speaks to the magnitude of the short-term price trend, AMD is winning, right? If we look at the recommendation here, NVIDIA still currently sits in a sell recommendation, while AMD showing a little bit more optimism here with a hold recommendation. Forecasted data here. I mean, both of these companies have great forecasted data. NVIDIA does beat AMD overall here. 78% compared to 24% sales growth rate. Earnings growth rate here, 43% compared to 26%. But this is why I really like AMD, right? Just give you a little backstory. In COVID era, AMD had to step up to the plate, right? They are not known for their GPUs, or they weren't known for their GPUs. They were mostly known for their x86 architecture, their CPUs, their GPUs mostly for gaming, a little bit lower quality than NVIDIA. But since the AI race, since the chip shortage of COVID, AMD has stepped into this realm here. And I know they're behind the curve, but they are catching up. They completely made Intel obsolete. You can see, everyone's trying to get a piece of, what's left of Intel. But what I really like about AMD, look at the market cap here, right? NVIDIA, almost $3 trillion. AMD, less than $200 billion. So if you are a more conservative investor and you're not looking, to get, a multi-bagger opportunity here, hey, NVIDIA at $3 trillion, safe stock, not mad at it at all. If you're trying to take on a little bit more risk, a little more bang for your buck, look at AMD's market cap. Even if it, one day gets to $1 trillion, especially, with the growth of AI, as they advance their own GPUs, which they only really recently over the last, year or two have been announcing AI-enabled or inference chips. So look at this. I mean, $168 billion, even if it goes to $1 trillion, right? That is more than 500% gain right now, right? So that's what I'm saying. AMD, I like AMD for the little guy because it is a great multi-bagger opportunity going into the future. First up, we've got NVIDIA on the chart. You can see the descending channel here. If I scroll this back, let's just say 6 months. The descending channel for quite some time. I mean, the stock has been coming down since November 2024. It was relatively flat here. Hit a new high at the beginning of this year, but quickly retraced, testing this upper descending channel line here multiple times. But look at price action, 116, still in the descending channel. Now, as far as my traders here, this level has been a critical level here. I talked about this earlier this week, looking for rejection around 122. We got our rejection there, right? So if you've already, nibbled and bought the dip on NVIDIA, hey, I can't be mad at it. I'll be honest with you. Anything close to $100, especially sub $100 when it comes to NVIDIA, I get it. I would be jumping on it too, right? But for my traders, for my investors, if you want to load up on some more NVIDIA, look for this confirmation level around 122. See if we can get some closes above that. That'll also put us above that 20-day EMA, showing this descending channel might be coming to an end. But right now, NVIDIA, I just can't get behind it at this time. I'm not in the position, but I'm not against it. All I'm saying is for my traders, I'm a little bit more bearish right now than bullish just because of this chart pattern. But that being said, if it gets above 122, hey, I let the trade come to me and then I will start playing NVIDIA, right? Otherwise, with all the geopolitical concerns, recession talks, things of that nature, you might just get better deals on NVIDIA here in the near future. And now that leads me to AMD. We can see a long descending channel here, several rejections, at this 20-day EMA, short-lived every time, rejection at this downward trend line. But look at price action now. Moving averages starting to become in our favor. Just broke above that descending channel. I do have the Bollinger Bands here. So if you're a little bit more conservative swing trader, hey, get above that upper Bollinger Band right now. Sits around 106, right? We're in this channel here. I put these levels here a little bit ago from about 106 to about $96 here. I saw consolidation. I used some prior consolidation on, AMD way back in time to get these levels here. So if you want to start, tiptoeing at AMD, literally, closer to 96 is going to be the better price, upwards to 106. Now, if you want confirmation, we're already getting the beginning level of that confirmation, the break in the downward descending channel. Price action above that 20-day EMA. Get above around 106.98, 107 we'll say on the chart. See what kind of candlestick we get, right? Make sure we don't get rejection there, because last time we approached this level, which was 2 days ago, we see this upper wick on the candlestick here showing some rejection as we entered this resistance zone, you can say. But I just want to keep AMD on your radar. If you've been watching the channel for a while, I got my mom into the stock a long time ago, around $100. She ended up selling it. The stock went like $220 after that, right? She didn't sell it on my recommendation. She sold it on some other purposes. She needed the money. That being said, AMD is setting up for a huge trade setup, right? And honestly, as long as the whole entire market doesn't roll over with, these tariffs and recessions concerns, I have faith if this stock breaks above that 106, it could easily get up to 120 on good momentum with the market. Now, for the last thing I want to cover this evening, one of the easiest ways to be profitable in the market. This is what we're looking at. The candlesticks, the VectorVest composites, over 9,000 stocks are tracking. Broad market movement, right? It's like taking the Russell, the NASDAQ, S&P, Dow Jones, putting it all together along with other entities, and it gives us broad market movement, right? So that being said, everyone wants to know, when is a good time to be buying? When is a good time to be selling or taking profits, right? Well, down below is our MTI indicator, market timing indicator. Historically, it's like overbought, oversold, RSI, right? Especially if you're new to this, what that means is when the market gets overstretched, it likes to pull back, right? And if it gets stretched to the downside, it likes to pull back, right? Those market fluctuations we hear about. To take advantage of those, we've got the MTI. You can see two levels on here, around 0.6 on the bottom end, and the red line here is around 1.5, right? So that's typically when the market's getting top heavy. So the easiest advice I can give you, buy when the MTI is low, sell, take profits, hedge, whatever you want to do, times when the MTI is getting close to these levels or at these levels, right? And if you have the VectorVest 7 software, you can always, use that in conjunction with some of our market timing signals here. We have several market timing signals depending how active of a trader you might be or how much confirmation in the market you're looking for. So that's why I just want to give you this very easy yet effective indicator to stay on the right side of the market. And in current situations, look where we are. Great bottom fishing opportunities. That's why I've been saying, if you've been taking nibbles in the market lately on good quality stocks, hey, I can't be mad at it because generally speaking, you're buying when the market is at a discount. So that being said, if we're at MTI 0.66 right now, we're just coming off of these bottom fishing levels, these oversold market levels. The potential for the market is up to 1.5. As you can see, it doesn't just move in a straight line. There can be, some fluctuation, there's some volatility on the way there. But if I scroll this back more historically, we can see that the MTI does a great job, historically speaking, of putting us in at the right time and taking us out of the market at the right time. We can see the MTI can get into these overbought levels for quite some time here if the market has been really suppressed. Because if I scroll back, You can see the market rather flat for quite a bit, so it was suppressed. But look at the divergence occurring between MTI and price action of the VectorVest composite. The pullback inevitable there. We can see the MTI getting back closer to this green line, right? That's why I say it's just a very easy yet effective way to stay on the right side of the market. I know there's a lot of things I didn't cover when it comes to the MTI strategy. If you want more in-depth knowledge on this trading strategy here, just type, on YouTube, VectorVest MTI or VectorVest bottom fishing. It'll point you in the right direction in utilizing this strategy to be profitable going forward. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's video, gave you some very informative information. If you found this information useful in your portfolio, your trading, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so that way I can keep you updated going forward. Have a good night.